How low can Bitcoin actually go this bull run before I start calling for a macro top? Okay, that's what we're going to discuss in this video. So my bull market support band is going to be the 50-week moving average. Okay, so we hop into the indicator settings here. We turn on our exponential moving averages, have the 50 EMA. You can see that currently this EMA lies at around 95K. But keep in mind, right, as time passes, as Bitcoin consolidates or even goes down, this moving average is still going to rise, okay? So, by the time Bitcoin, if it does get to the zone that I have on my chart, this should be at around 100K. And that makes sense, right? That's a very strong psychological level. Ideally, I wouldn't want to see weekly closes below 100K, okay? We also have some other really good pieces of confluence in this level. You have this key horizontal zone with price history. You can see that this is the last structure low, right? So when we're defining an uptrend and what actually creates a shift in structure is going to be a closure below these pivot highs and pivot lows. We have a higher high, higher low, higher high, and we want to see a higher low here, right? If we see a close below and we see a lower low, that would tell me that there is a shift in structure. We're going to see maybe one more leg up for that B wave, and then we will go back down, similar to what Bitcoin did back in 2021. I do not want to see that happen. So for me, this is the zone that I'm looking for. If Bitcoin can hold above this zone with this rising demand here as well, with the 50-week moving average, this is going to be a really good spot for bulls to look for longs. And this is the last level that they need to hold. Now, I will say there is a weekly imbalance here, right? A weekly fair value gap, right, on our Manipulation X indicator here that has not been filled yet. And that's also overlapping our golden pocket fib. See back here in July, August of last year, we also did the same exact thing, right? We had this weekly fair value gap with this golden pocket fib overlapping, and we came down around, what was that? 32% to test that imbalance, okay? If you look at price right now, what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing kind of the same thing, right? Around 25% drop back down to this golden pocket to fill that weekly imbalance. The only difference this time is that we've taken out the high. Okay, this is something else I want you guys to note here as well. Okay, we have put in a weekly swing failure pattern, meaning we have one high and then we have a second high that takes out that first high with bearish momentum. Okay, the last time that we've seen that, guys, especially this late into the cycle, is not looking good, right? Last time we've seen a weekly swing failure pattern was back in February of this year, right? We saw that weekly swing fail. We saw a massive retrace, right? Massive retrace. Even going back to the last bull market top, we saw a weekly swing fail. Boom, that was the top of the market. Okay, so what do I personally think here? Do I think the top is in? I don't know. I think there's around a 30% chance that the top is in for this cycle, a 30 to 35% chance. I'm still leaning towards we have one more leg up, okay? And the only reason I'm saying that is, number one, due to the 4-year cycle, and number two, everyone's calling for a top, right? And most of the time, everyone is not right, okay? So similar to how in last bull run, people were calling for a 2013 type parabola, that did not happen. Instead, we got that double top. What do we see here? We kind of see the same thing as in 2021. And what are people saying? Oh, we're going to repeat 2021. It usually never happens like that, okay? So I still maintain the base case scenario that we are going to find support at this level here and bounce from here, okay? This is still my base case scenario. Until proven otherwise, I do not want to talk about, these lower levels here. There's no point, right? We're still at support. Now, another thing that we have to be mindful of here as well is that we are currently, as I make this video, inversing this bullish fair value gap. So if we see a weekly close below this bullish fair value gap, any weekly close below this zone, that is pretty much going to confirm to me that we are seeing these levels down here, that we are seeing sub 100K Bitcoin, okay? So I want to see this range hold. We'll jump into some lower time frame entries here in just a minute. Kind of to recap what I'm personally thinking, I do think that we are going to range a bit, maybe for the next month or so, and then continue higher for one last leg to the upside. However, we still could technically come down to this demand zone, which is where I will be looking for longs as well, and maybe even tag into this weekly fair value gap. Now, if we do tag into this weekly fair value gap, I do not want to see a weekly close below this low. So if we do, I'd want to see price wick down into the zone and then immediately reclaim that previous low, and that would be a really good long trigger as well. But any sort of closure down here would confirm to me that the macro top is in. And even if we do get that, I would still expect one more leg up where alts go parabolic, and that would be the lower high for the extended bear market. Now, something else that is interesting is that Cathie Wood has recently sold around $65 million worth of Bitcoin. Okay, this is the same person who said, just hold on to it. It's going to 15x in the future. Now, what does this mean, right? There's a lot of people saying this is bearish. She's taking profits. She's selling the top. It's over. She could be selling to sit on cash 100%, or she could be using this money to invest in other assets that she believes will outperform. I mean, Bitcoin has ran up from 15K to over 100K in the span of a few years. It makes sense for someone who has caught at least some of that move to take some profits and put it into a different asset that maybe has more upside this late into the 4-year cycle. She could also be buying other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, okay? Taking profits is expected this late into the bull cycle, so not super worried about. Now, going down to a lower time frame, again, it is still my base case scenario that just as we have swept the range highs, I've said time and time again, the technical target is going to be the range lows. So I am actively looking for swing longs, okay? I have my zone marked out. This is a zone that I've drawn on the daily time frame. Okay, I have my daily easy algo support zone. If you guys are having trouble drawing these zones, you can jump into the easy algo indicator, set the multi-time frame support and resistance to the chart time frame. So what I'm watching for here is for price to go below this low, tag into this higher time frame area of interest or order block or support zone, whatever you want to call it, and then look for a recapture of the range lows. And that would be my long trigger. You can see down here on our momentum oscillator, right? The oscillator is starting to turn into that oversold zone, right? It looks like momentum is starting to increase to the upside as well, right? Maybe we can see something like this, right? And then start to curl to the upside as the momentum is creating that bullish divergence, right? So if we see this formation here where price creates a lower low as momentum creates a bullish divergence and we reclaim this major swing low here to the left, that would be my long trigger with my stop loss at whatever swing low gets put in here, targeting the all-time highs to continue the trend to the upside. Okay, that's still my base case scenario until proven otherwise. Of course, we can still come down and take out some of these external lows here all the way to the left as well. So some really good potential entries here as well, right? So how do you enter these, right? I am not looking to set limit orders. Again, I'm looking for failures and reclaims with bullish divergences. So I'm going to set alerts on my oscillator, look for those bullish divergences on a 4 to 6 hour time frame. And as soon as we get a reclaim of these lows, I will be looking for longs. But again, guys, we have a lot of support below us. So until proven otherwise, right? It's good to have those bull market support bands in the back of your mind. But again, until we start losing these levels, guys, there's no point in looking lower. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum real quick, shall we? So Ethereum is looking a lot stronger than Bitcoin. It's holding up pretty well. Now, if we go to a daily time frame, we have broken out of this 4-year resistance. Okay, so if I mark these horizontal lines here, right, we have broken out of this key resistance zone. So for Ethereum here, guys, I do not want to see price start to lose these levels here, okay? I really want to see price hold, maybe at most a retrace down into this golden pocket fib here. This fib also perfectly overlaps this previous high here. So again, resistance, we've broken out. I'd be looking for a retest of this level here. But I really don't want to see Ethereum start to lose these highs here, okay? This would not be a good sign in my opinion. But again, until that happens, I'm still long and strong, right? Until price proves to me otherwise, right? I can't go off of emotion. I can't go off what people are saying on Twitter. I need to read the price. And what price is showing me is that we're still in a bullish uptrend. We are also currently testing this 4-hour bullish fair value gap here. And we have just taken out some major lows here as well, which I was posting about inside of the pro Discord. So I am looking for a long on a reclaim of these lows. Okay, if we get a reclaim of these lows, I wouldn't be hesitant in taking a long there. Okay, but as always, I will let you guys know first inside of the pro Discord. But that is going to be it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down in the comment section below, subscribe to the channel for more daily analysis. And now we'll see you guys next video.